Now then boys, welcome back to Bushcraft Trees, where I'm going to teach you all the best trees in bushcraft, from the medicinal properties of certain trees to other useful things like which trees make good string, weapons, bows and arrows. And also things like which trees mushrooms like the best, because there are certain trees that mushrooms like the most. And in these mushrooms you have got food and other medicinal values. And yes, I am on a paddleboard floating down a river somewhere. And first up we have got this, the white willow tree. The white willow tree is a very interesting tree because it has got many medicinal properties and its branches are also very good. The wood is also incredibly durable and flexible when it's freshly cut, so it makes perfect things like baskets and even bows. In fact, willow would be one of my first choices to make a self-made bow just because of these bendy properties of the wood. And once you cut the fresh branches down and then you make it into a basket, when the wood dries it tends to retain its shape, so it makes perfect things like baskets and carrying things in the foraging. Just like the lime tree, the white willow tree, or any willow tree in particular, can also be made into good string. With willow being one of the softer hardwoods, it's also good to be used as a half-board in friction firelighting, so you'd use hazel as the spindle and willow wood as the board. Won't be quite as soft or as good as using something like cedar or pine, but it'll work. Now if you are wanting to make baskets out of something, or particularly willow, you want to find yourself a willow that's kind of fallen into the river like this, and then it sends up these little thin shoots, and it's this that you will do your weavings with. Now willow, or particularly white willow, is quite easy to identify because it has got these long slender green branches. And the bark on the main trunk almost looks like it's got diamond patterns in, but it's quite deeply fissured and looks like this. Now there are a few different species of willow, but this white willow in particular is white willow because it's got these long slender leaves. Also the underside of the leaves are all white and furry. And the leaves feel almost like a velvet to the touch. This tree is also the reason why I'm on a river on a paddleboard, is because it's a water-loving tree, so you normally find it growing down the sides of rivers. One of the most remarkable aspects of the willow tree is its medicinal properties. The bark of the willow tree contains salicin, a compound similar to aspirin. For centuries, people have used white willow bark as an alternative pain relief, to reduce fever, and even the treatment of inflammation. To make a simple willow bark tea, strip the bark from the young branches, boil it in water and steep it, and then just simply drink. This tea is a fantastic way to utilize nature's pharmacy when you're out in the wild. It's especially handy for treating minor aches and pains when you don't have access to modern medicine, so remember this one, peeps. Other medicinal properties of willow, other than pain relief and anti-inflammatory, is for fever reduction, lower back pain, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, menstrual pains, muscle pains, and even the common cold. If you want some quick pain relief from willow, you basically just get yourself a piece of willow, just strip some of the bark off. And just chew it. It tastes like aspirin. It actually tastes pretty chemically. Ooh, power. Wow. So the main takeaways of the willow tree are going to be its medicinal properties in bushcraft as a painkiller more than anything, and the properties of the wood for the bending of the wood when they are freshly cut and then retaining their shape for things like baskets and carriers and maybe even some traps.